Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than my usual plan with me or creative journal spread, that sort of thing. We are going to be checking out these brand new, well, I don't know if they're brand new, but they're new to me, Ohuhu markers. Ohuhu reached out to me to see if I wanted to try some of their products, and I had been taking a look at them anyways, just hadn't pulled the trigger on purchasing, and in the meantime I got an email from them to see if I wanted to check out their products, so of course I said yes. I love hand lettering. I don't do very much of it on my channel now, but I will link my playlist down below. That way you can check it out. So if you're newer to my channel, you might want to go back and watch some of those videos. But today we're going to be looking at these marker sets. We've got two different ones that they sent me. We've got the calligraphy brush and dot marker pens. They're a smaller brush pen on one end and a dot marker on the other end. And then there's a few metallic ones in here too. So we're going to check those out. And then the other set is a paper-friendly brush and fine liner dual tip pen set. The brush is a bit of a larger brush pen, and then the fine liner is a very like almost like an ink pen tip. So but that's really neat because the colors match, so it's going to allow you to color in really small places with the same ink color as the larger brush tip end, and I thought that was really neat. And then it comes in this zipper binder. Both marker sets are water-based. We're going to test them out, but I believe just after watching a couple of other videos on them, just to kind of get a kind of an idea of what we were looking at, they do have some bleed through on certain papers, so we're going to test it out onto some different papers and see how we could use these in our planners, and in what other ways we can use these markers. I do have a coloring sheet that I've pulled out to test them out for coloring, and some other pages as well. So let's go ahead and get started. I will go ahead and tell you though, I do have affiliate links for these two marker sets in my description box below from Amazon. But take a look at Ohuhu markers. There's so many available. They have alcohol markers. They have so many different kinds available. So my next goal is to try out the alcohol markers. I have some other ones that I've purchased and I like them. They're okay, but the quality I don't think is quite there with the ones I purchased, so I may pick up a set of their alcohol markers before long to see if I can try those out. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Let's go in with the brush tip and dot markers. I feel like these might be ones that we could use in our planners more so than these, because the tips are so much smaller on these. And then I kind of have a workaround for some of the bleed through issues that I have noticed in other videos. So we'll try that out as well. So to start with, I've got a Happy Planner page here, just pulled from a planner from 2024. I don't know what their GSM is on their paper, but it's a nice paper. So I just pulled a horizontal page out to practice on these markers. And then I'm going to also pull some box stickers out from Jojo Plans, because I feel like that would be a good way that we could use these dot markers in our planners without worrying about the bleed through. So we'll get to that, but for now, let's test out some of the hand lettering aspects of these pens. Let's take a look at a few of them actually first. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull them all out here. And get to this piece of paper here. I think it's just a little bit, just a product insert, so we don't really care about that. I do love how it comes in its own little bag though, with a zipper pouch. That's really neat. And then also one other thing I'd like to mention, I think the metallic markers are a bit different than the regular markers, being that the metallic ones have a bullet tip versus a brush tip. So we're going to test those out too. So let me show you the brush tip compared to the bullet tip. I don't know if you'll be able to see on camera, and I just wrote on myself, so that's nice. That's okay though. But there's the different tips. They look very similar. as you're looking at them on camera, but in person you can tell. And then you can see that the you know, this marker, the red one, is a brush tip, and then the silver one is a bullet tip. So we'll practice with that as well. All right, so metallic, I'm thinking are these two, and then this one, and then this one for sure. I was thinking there were 5 metallic markers, so we'll get to that if we find it. All right, so let's do this really bright, bold turquoise color here to start with the brush tip. So I practiced hand lettering a couple of years ago, and I'm a little bit out of practice, but we're gonna go ahead and give it a you know, just practice in this video as well. I followed a YouTuber named Judy of JLB Crafts. I'll link her playlist down below of the videos that I practiced with and I followed along with her on to learn hand lettering. And it is not easy if you don't know how to do it, but once you learn how to do it, it is pretty easy, and it just takes a lot of practice actually. So it's really not that hard. It just takes practice. But we're going to go ahead and write it down some words. Let's go with Ohuhu, and I'm going to do a smaller print with these markers here with this tip. And I'll just keep this video in real time so you can see. For the most part, I may keep it in real time. We may not. Okay, so that's using the marker itself. That's a smaller brush tip, but it is a little bit flexible. It's not a very hard tip, which I like. And then the dot end of it, it looks like this. And then with this size of dot pen, if you haven't ever used one, the way these are designed is you can put down more pressure for a larger dot and less pressure for a smaller dot. So if you hold it down for just a second, you're going to get a little bit of a bigger dot. Whereas if you do, you know, a smaller dot, if you press faster, but you can get a pretty big dot like that. And then with these markers, you can see that writing with the hand lettering, you barely get a little bit of ghosting on the back, but with the dot markers, the more you hold down, there is some bleed through. So I was thinking about that, and what I decided was to pull out a box for that. Let's take a look at that. I've just got Jojo Plans black boxes, the original one. And we're just gonna take a, we used a bunch of these boxes. Let's do a couple here. Let's do this size, and I'll just put that down. And then we will do a larger box as well. One of these sizes. Jojo Plans is always linked down below. You can use my code Amanda10 at her shop. She is well known for her box stickers, all different colors and different you know, shapes and everything like that. Also, she does some different like variations of sticker books, some quote sticker books, I think. And then she's got a new one out with some like little header stickers. So check her out. You can use my code Amanda10 at her shop. We're going to use this larger box sticker too, though, and try these out. So I'm going to take another dark color that I think would bleed through a little more. I'm seeing the other metallic pen here too, so I'm going to set it aside. We're going to look at those in just a minute. All right, so a dark color. Let's do this green. It's pretty dark. So one thing you can do if you want to use these on your planner pages, you can use these on these box stickers, and I don't think they're going to bleed through. But look how cute these boxes are with these dots added in. I just think that's so fun. All right, and they're not, you can't, this is the bleed through from this one. This box sticker is here, and there is no bleed through. So you could use these all over your planner inside the boxes with no worries, okay? Let's check the writing inside the box as well. And so like if we were gonna use this box and write the word today, the tips are, like I said, a tad bit on the softer side for a small tip, but I don't mind that. I actually like a little bit of a softer tip than the really firm brush pen tip, because to me you get smoother lines and edges on your letters. At least I do for the way I hand letter. But here we've got the word today written and no bleed through or ghosting. Okay, so let's check out the metallic pens. Push those up just a little bit. So we've got the gold, silver, purple, pink, and blue. Here's the gold. Let's try the bullet tip on the planner page itself, and we'll just use this and put, let's do hello. Okay, first of all, the ink on this is so pretty, you guys. It's like a really juicy, like almost like a paint pen. It's not a paint pen, but look at how pretty that is. Okay, and barely, hardly any. Actually, I see through it only because of my light, my ring light, but there's no ghosting on that pen right there. Let's check out the dot pen, or dot side of the pen. And again, we're just going to do a good press to see if that's going to bleed through on that paper. Nope, not at all. So the metallic pens are going to be good. At least the gold pen is going to be good for your planner page. Let's test out all the colors just to see. That way we can know for sure. And then I'll check the writing as well. And let's do high on this one. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. I love these metallic pens. Okay, so there's the blue. No ghosting. Let's do the pink. And we will just do, let's write the word love. We are almost to Valentine's Day, you guys. And I'm not super excited about Valentine's Day necessarily, but I love the holiday, partly because of all the cute colors and stickers that we can use. It's just fun. I like the pinks and reds, so no ghosting on the pink. We need to do the purple. And let's write pen. It's weird to try to think of words on the fly. I've never done a pen video, you guys. I've done other products, not a lot. Mostly it's, stickers, journaling, planning, and that sort of thing. So this was a little bit different for me. So I hope you're enjoying this video, and if you are, go ahead and tell me in the comments below if you want to see more stuff like this, because I do often have companies reach out to me to try out their different products, but a lot of times I decline only because I don't want to turn my channel into just, products, but I felt like this was something that you guys would probably be interested in because I was interested in it, and I love pens and all kinds of pens, and so I was really excited to know that Ohuhu reached out to me, and I was able to try these out for them. All right, so we're going to go back to, oh wait, we didn't do the silver. Let's go ahead and finish out the metallics just so we know on those. And this is silver, so we'll write silver, and I'm going to do a cursive in this. Even though it's the bullet tip, you can still write in different, almost like a brush letter style. So there's the silver. And again, so pretty. I love the ink colors on those, and no ghosting. So that's awesome to know. So our metallics are safe for our planner pages for sure. All right, I'm going to try a couple of other colors to see if we get any more ghosting. Let's do pink. We'll write pink in this spot right here. And then we will use the dot end as well, so we can try those out. And I think that's gonna bleed. I can really tell there's a lot of saturation with that ink, which is nice. Whoops, it's really pretty. I like the colors, but we do have some bleed through on those dots and a little bit of ghosting on the hand lettering. So I would definitely recommend these for certain things. I would not go through a planner and use these to hand letter a whole page in, kind of like the playlist that I linked down below for you guys. I don't think these would be great for that, only because you're going to have some ghosting, and some ghosting is okay at times, but I don't want a lot of ghosting on my pages, just because you don't want to have to worry that it's going to show through. But these are super cool markers. You could definitely use these in like a thicker journal page, I think, which we can try that out too. Let's do that now that I'm thinking about it. I have my creative journal here, and it's a happy journal from the Happy Planner. We, let's see, these I think are 160 GSM pages, which that means they're pretty thick. So we're gonna take this page here and do some testing on here as well. Let's see, what color do we want? Let's do a darker color again, and we're gonna also try a lighter color on the planner page too before we get done. But let's do this purple on this page here, and let me make sure that I'm on, yeah, just this individual page. All right, so let's just write purple. All right, so there's that, and then let's do some dots. And let's see if we have some bleed through. We don't, not at all, you guys. So if you've got a paper that's nice and thick, that is a good journaling paper or book, then these markers are going to be fine. You're just going to have to be careful on regular papers or, you know, your thinner planner pages. So one thing I want to do really quickly is try out this lighter color on this page just to see if it's going to bleed through. Let's see, again, let's write journal. I'm just looking at words around me. Oh, this is a pretty light color. One thing I'm noticing though is when you first write with these pens, you're seeing a little bit of streakiness, but then when the ink dries, it dries pretty smooth. So I have noticed that. So there's journal, and then let's do our dots in this really, really light pink. Again, I think because that ink comes out so juicy, it's kind of soaking through, and that's why we're getting that bleed through with the dots. So yeah, but very little ghosting on that. So yeah, definitely don't recommend these on a planner page necessarily, but in a journal or a thicker paper, or if you have a nicer, like a thicker paper for your planner page, I think you'd be good to go. But just test it out on a small spot before you do anything with these markers on your planner pages. But highly recommend the markers. I love the tips. They're really nice and flexible, but not too big. So these are a good dot pen too. I really like those. And I love the look of the box sticker, so I'm definitely going to try that out in my next planner spread. So stay tuned for that. All right. So these are... Oh, I should have told you this is a set of 24 colors that you get in this package, with the inclusion, that's including the 5 metallic pens, and then the rest of them are the bullet, or excuse me, not bullet, but brush tip pens. All of them have the dot marker end, and then the different tips on the other side. All right, so those are Kumimi journal pens from Ohuhu, and again, I will link these down below for you guys. Okay. The next set that we're going to practice with or play around with, let me move this up here out of the way and this over here. We will keep this journal out because I'm going to test the next ones in here too. But these are the paper friendly, and that just means no peeling. I think as you color with these markers, with some markers, there's some peeling on the paper because it's like very, like, the ink kind of messes up the paper, but these are not supposed to do that. They are a large brush tip and a fine liner on each end, so dual tips, water-based, as I mentioned before. And then in this set, you get 60 different colors, and it comes in this case. And so, again, I will have this linked as well down below for you guys if you want to take a look at it over on Amazon. So let's see, we've got, like I said, 60 colors. All right, this is really cool. I love this case. All right, so we have a swatch page here that you can color in all the different colors, which is really nice because when you're picking out markers for either coloring or hand lettering, you really need to see it on paper because the tips aren't always an exact you know, indication of what the color is. And even this is probably not going to be an exact indication, but you do have a sheet here that's printed out. But we'll take the time at some point and fill all of these in. And if I do that within this video, I will fast forward it, but I'll probably do that separately just because it's going to take me a little bit to do that. All right, so this is just a little insert with some, you know, the warnings and product information. All right, so this set here, like I said, is 60 pins. So we've got this row, and then this flap is a two-sided insert. So you got pins on both sides. Okay. The pins themselves, let's take a look at those. Let's look at this really pretty pink color. So it's a longer pin than the other ones, and it has, again, two tips or dual tips. So the brush tip looks like that, and the other end, this is a fine liner, it looks like this. Okay. And then let's see, let's try it out in our journal first, just because I've got this open, and then that way I can put this away. Let's try a dark color once again, just so that we're really trying to make sure that we're finding out if it's going to bleed or not. So this is a larger brush tip. That's just means that if you're using it to brush, to hand letter, your letters are going to be larger. So, or at least for me they are. So let's just write the word blue. Ooh, that's nice. I like that a lot. So the ink comes out pretty dark. Whoops, I wrote the wrong letter. That's just because I'm talking, you guys. I cannot talk and write at the same time. So we spelled something that doesn't even exist, but that's okay. You can see though what the ink looks like. And again, I think that ink comes out pretty pretty dark and a little tiny bit streaky, but it dries so smooth. All right. Let's try another color. Oh, are we bleeding through? We have a little ghosting, okay? So you want to be careful on that in like a journal page like this. So there is a little bit of ghosting there. Let's try a lighter color to see if we get that ghosting. All right. I was going to write pink, but this is not actually pink, so that's okay. We'll still write the word pink. To me, this is more of a peach color. And let's see if we have that same ghosting on this paper. Not really. Barely can see it right there, but no, not really. So this might be an option for, like, you know, the thicker paper for sure, but not those darker colors necessarily. But really, I think these pens are more going to be useful for coloring. And I do have a coloring page pulled out here. This came from a coloring book that I don't really know where it came from. It could have come from Amazon. If it did, I will link it down below for you, but it's got a bunch of different coloring pages in it, and I've picked one out that had some larger areas and some smaller areas on it. They are single-sided, so you don't have to worry about the bleed through on these coloring pages, and most adult coloring books are single-sided. And if you don't know for sure, like if you want to purchase an adult coloring book, I would make sure it's single-sided, so then you don't have to worry about it, especially if you're doing alcohol markers. If you're not familiar with alcohol markers, the whole thing bleeds through. That's just what they do. I don't know why, but that's just what they do. All right, so let's go ahead and try these out with coloring this page. I'm obviously not going to color the whole sheet because that would take forever for me to do that on video, but we're definitely going to try out some of the different colors on here and see how these markers color. Okay, so I'm going to work on this leaf right here with this green color and see how these do. These are water-based, so they're not going to color exactly like an alcohol marker. So if you're familiar with alcohol markers, this is going to be a little different. With alcohol markers, they seem to blend really nicely together. And so we're going to see how these do. And I'm getting out of the lines. Coloring is not my specialty. I do enjoy coloring occasionally, but it's not something that I do a lot of. All right, so let's fill in this area. And I'm noticing that it's looking a tad bit streaky, but let's see how it dries. All right. All right, I'm gonna stop there so we can allow it to dry and see what happens. But while that's drying, I'm going to take this fine liner end and color in some smaller areas. Actually, let's use a different color because I got some little petals here that could use some more colors versus that green. Let's go with this really pretty orange color. This is called Amber Orange. And I'm gonna use this to go in on these little things here, the little petals. What, I don't know if these are petals, they're on the petals rather. Let me zoom in just a little bit for you guys. All right, hopefully you can see that a little bit better. And our green over here is drying okay. It's a tad bit streaky. That could have been because of the way I colored it, because like I said, I'm not a colorer and I do have to practice. Like I have to really take my time to color. Some people I think are probably a lot better at it than I am. But we're gonna go ahead and color this flower. And we're going to, let's do a dark yellow for the middle. I'm just gonna use the fine liner end. All right. And let's go in with a pink or something for that petal. Maybe like this one. This is pink blush, and that other one that we used I think was marigold for the middle. Let's use a brush tip just to see if we can get in those smaller areas without making a mess. And actually the color is lighter, so it's gonna work out really nicely anyways. And this time I'm gonna try not to go over and over the areas because I think I caused a lot of that streaking there on that. So yeah, I can already tell that's better. And maybe I wouldn't have to go around the edges. That's just what I do when I color. Let me just try to color it without going around the edges and see what happens. And I'm gonna try a leaf like that too. And I'm not sure about the blending for these. With alcohol markers, you can blend and layer colors. Again, I'm not very good at it. I've done it a little bit, or tried it a little bit, but it's not, you know, something I'm very good at. What I'll do though is I'm gonna take the same green pen, which is the bronze green is what it's called. I'm gonna color this leaf without, and I'm gonna try not to layer and like color over certain areas more than once. And see if we get a better, smoother finish. So yeah, if you don't color over and over like I did on this one, it is a little bit smoother. I'm gonna go over it one more time though and see if we can get it a little darker, because I think these colors are supposed to be able to layer, and you know, you can change the intensity of the color of the ink, and which I'm seeing that's happening. That's really cool. And then that's where, you know, it's not supposed to peel, like your paper is not gonna tear up. So let's see if we can get this leaf darker. Ignore my coloring. I'm not a very good colorer. Like I said, I'm coming out of the lines a little bit. Hope that's not driving you crazy. All right. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna let that dry. So that's the same marker, and you've got a lighter, oops, I'm off the camera, I'm so sorry. But you've got a lighter leaf and a darker one here with the same marker with this one, okay? So that's pretty cool that you can layer up on these to get a darker look on your marker, or excuse me, on your picture here. Let's do a darker petal on this flower. Let's go for a purple or something. Let's do this light violet. I'm gonna use the small tip, the fine liner end, to do this one here. And I'm just gonna go around the little petals, or those little, whatever those are. So sometimes people color with like gel pens and stuff. That's kind of what this reminds me of, which I kind of like. I've colored with gel pens some. It's just different, you know, as far as what the coloring is like, and that's what this reminds me of, and that's nice. That really came on a smooth and not splotchy. I was thinking with the darker color we might have to worry about that with the small end, but it doesn't look like it's doing that. All right, we're gonna finish this little petal up. And I think we're gonna wrap this video up. I do have one other sheet I want to practice some hand lettering on with these markers, because that's my, you know, that's what I like to use brush pens for, is hand lettering, not so much coloring. But you can see though that these are really nice, you know, markers, and I think they would do a nice job of coloring if you were going to use them in a coloring book or something like that. So again, I'll try to link this coloring book down below or find something similar for you guys to try out. But the it was called this Self-Care 31 Calming Designs of, or excuse me, for colorists of all ages. Let's zoom back out just a little bit. Okay, so the last page I wanted to practice on with these markers is another Happy Planner page, but it's a practice page, so it's got the dotted lines on it. So I wanted to do some hand lettering with these pens with this page right here. Let's do this. It's hard picking colors. Okay, let's do this really pretty pink. This is actually it's a vivid red. That'll be nice. Let's see what it looks like. All right, so let's write Valentine. So this pen is pretty smushy. That first one I tried wasn't as smushy, so that's why I'm getting such a thick line on this one. So let's try a few more just to see if they're consistent. Let's do this really pretty blue. This is called Pastel Blue. We're gonna say, this looks like a cloud to me, so let's write the word cloud. So that, yeah, this tip is a tad bit stiffer. And you can see that it looks like, to me, the ink is coming out a little splotchy, but it dries so smooth. At least it has been. And so let's see what happens to this one. Oh yeah, you can already tell that the ink is drying really smoothly. All right. I love this color here. It's called Petroleum Blue. It looks to me, I would say jade would be that color. I don't know if that's a color, but that's what it looks like to me. Ooh, that's so pretty. I love that color. All right, you guys, you're gonna have to tell me in the comments below, like I said before, if you want to see more videos like this, if you want me to accept different products and share them on my channel with you guys. I know my channel is a planner channel, but I did want to take the opportunity to try these pens out, and I would like to get back into hand lettering more on my channel, you know, at some point. And so I really felt like this was a good way to do that. But I really liked these pens. You know, I wanted to give you my honest opinion on them, and, you know, show you maybe the pros and cons of, you know, using them in your planner pages. Obviously, you want to be careful of the bleeding, the bleed through, or the, you know, on the dots especially. But I do think they're so cool, and I can't wait to use them in my planner. We're going to be doing that very soon. And then these right here, I think I'll probably try more coloring with these just to kind of practice and that sort of thing. But again, it's a 60 marker set, and I will have them both linked below for you guys to check out if you want to. Again, they're affiliate links, so if you do click on those links and purchase from the from Amazon. At that point, I do earn a small commission on what you purchase. So thank you again for using my links. To those of you that do, that helps me out so much. And thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will comment down below and let me know what you thought about everything. And again, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.